Michael, did you watch the game back on the bus on Saturday? Have you watched it since? Have you needed to watch it since to formulate what you're going to do analysis-wise going forward?
I didn't watch it on the bus. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I did watch it yesterday. I think we know where we let ourselves down, so it's up to us to put that right.
Is tempo, or was tempo, important in the sense that when you've got a side who are prepared to be compact, if the ball is moved slowly, you make it easier for them?
Well, the pitch didn't help that way, because the pitch at Bradford on the Tuesday night was a horrible pitch, but it was wet, so you could move the ball quickly, whereas it was slow and bobbly, almost rolled mud. And the wind was drying the pitch out as well, because to be fair to them, they did soak it before the game. But that's something you got to deal with. It's just we had an extra touch or an extra roll of the ball, which is killing somebody else's space. So there's that pondering on the ball, just that uncertainty of, I'm not quite sure, which is the frustrating thing, because the players do know the way we want to play, and when we're at it, we do most of our football off 1 and 2 touch. But that's all, tactical and technical stuff like that. For me, it was the spirit that we didn't show, which we've got. So it hasn't happened very often. I watched Sheffield United play yesterday, and horrible day, and the energy that they've got, and just the up and at 'em sort of mentality, and that's what we have been. But we just come away from that in the last couple of weeks.
Third of the season still to go. In the last third, is that sort of unlocking of sides who are prepared to be compact and play 4-4-1-1, which is effectively is what Scunthorpe did, is that going to be the biggest challenge to all the teams in the top 7 and even a couple of outside?
No, you look at the results on Saturday, there's funny results now. Teams are scrapping for their lives, for different reasons. Some to stay in the league, some to get in the top 3, and there's still a decent, the top 10 are still trying to get in that last couple of playoff spots. So the league is still quite open, people playing for different things. So I think something we have got better at. We have got better at when teams have banked in. There was just before Christmas, we had that period where teams were trying to do it, so we've worked on a few things that we've got better at, different types of entries into the penalty area rather than the same way all the time. But Saturday was just one of those days, nothing seemed to drop for us, and we couldn't get a momentum going in the game, like I said, and I don't think the referee helped as regards to he kept blowing his whistle and he kept giving fouls for both teams, but it was like, just let the game flow. That's what we wanted the game to try and flow, to get some sort of momentum, but we couldn't get any momentum because the whistle kept going every 30 seconds, so that was frustrating as well.
What do you think Chris Beech will do? Because he's been at Carlisle for 2 months, they've had a managerial change during the season, and he looks to have made them much harder to beat.
No, well, yeah, the record says it themselves. Unbeaten in 5, I think they've lost 4 in 17 games. So they're much improved from what they were early in the season. So they've got some good footballers, they've got a way of playing, they had a good result on Saturday. And he's right, he's a good man, Chris. He's a football man. I was with him on Wednesday actually at an LMA event. Actually sat and had lunch with him, which was quite weird, thinking don't want to give anything away. But he's got his way of playing, we've got our way of playing. So it's about, again, we might have to play the conditions. You look at the forecast, it isn't great. So it might not be a free-flowing spectacle, but that's not. We're in League 2. You're going to come across difficult pitches. You're going to come across teams that play a completely different way to what other teams do. A bit more contrast in what there is in probably the other top leagues. You go to the Premier League and they're all playing on billiard tables, and most teams play the same sort of way. There's a lot more diversity in this league. Different ways of playing, different pitches, different styles. So you've got to try and beat what's put in front of you. And
just to go back to that tactical point about Beech, has he said to the other teams, right, we're going to work hard on spirit and organisation and set pieces and go from there?
Well, that's what all teams do. It's, football isn't rocket science. It's, it's a small world. So you bump into the same sort of people all the time, and everyone's trying to do the same thing. It's all right saying spirit and commitment and running through brick walls for each other, but it's getting the players to buy into it and getting the players to do that. That's the difficult bit. So that's when you've got to rely on your culture and your dressing room, which is why I was frustrated on Saturday, because we do have that. I believe that we got that. I think the players believe that they've got that, and we've shown that for a long time, more than this season. Probably going back to last Christmas. So we just got to dust ourselves down. A little reminder, a little refresher of this is what we're about, this is our identity, and see if we can get back to it.
I think Northampton was the last away game where you scored first. That feels a big thing at the moment, isn't it? If you can get the first goal, particularly as you're getting towards the tenser end of the season, if that's a word.
I think it doesn't matter what league you're in. So I'm talking about different levels. Statistically, if you score the first goal, I think it's 60% of games you'll win. So it is important at any level. So that's the one thing that we have done. We've got away from it at home. We had a little phase where we'd given the first goal up at home and we ended up drawing a lot of games. And on the flip to that, we've started doing it away from home now and end up drawing or losing games. So it's difficult. You give any team a carrot, you give any team something to hold on to, they're going to fight for it. But we have shown that we have come back from a goal down a lot as well, which we go back to your togetherness and your spirit and things like that. It shows that we do have that. So ideally, if you ask any manager sat in this seat, would you like to concede the first goal? No. How do you react from it is the key. And I just thought Saturday we probably, on reflection of the game, we looked at as a neutral. You probably could have said a draw might have been a fair result. But I think that shows the standards that we've set.
Do you have to keep a calm head in terms of selection and not overreact to the one performance? Because on Saturday you were quite, I wouldn't say angry, but you were quite het up at the end.
Yeah, no, that's important. That's why I don't watch the game on the bus after the game, because you still got the emotion flying through you. The group's done well. We've got into a position, so there's not a case where we need to rip it up and start again and it's all going wrong. We've lost one game of football, of which I've just said that we probably could have shaded a draw. The reason why I was frustrated on Saturday is because I thought we got away with one the week before, so that's why that was probably why I was so het up after the game. But no, I believe in the group. We've got a good team, we've got a good spirit. The players have been excellent for me, so there's no case of that. We won't be. I wouldn't have thought we'd be making 8 or 9 changes and playing a completely different system, because it's believe in the process that we've got. I asked the players to believe in that, so I need to believe in the same things as well as the staff.
A wider point, obviously Storm Chiara has been going through. Warwick Road was underwater last night, I gather, but looks as though it's better this morning. You'll hope that the club can actually make sure the game is on in a safe situation for everybody. Yeah,
I think I've just spoke to Paul Godfrey there. We don't think the pitch is going to be a problem. I think it's more going to be the wind. So I think there's 40-50 mile an hour winds forecast. It's beautiful here now, but already seen the forecast, so it's actually due to die down, I think, about 8 o'clock at night tomorrow. So, but a bit of sleet, bit of rain. They're expecting the pitch to be good. It's just how bad the wind is. Hopefully it'll all be fine. We'll get up there. There'll be no called off or anything like that. So it's and everyone gets there safely.
Sure. No bumps from Saturday. Nobody out Saturday with an injury of any sort.
No.
So, from your perspective, you've probably got at least 20 players you could select in the squad.
Yeah, we've got a good squad. My job is now to try and pick the right team. So the pressure comes within that now, because obviously when you pick a team and you lose, people are going to question you. And that's fine. I'd rather have that problem than only have 11 players.